Hello and welcome to our list of Husbandos. We're feeling a little, what's the word? Promiscuous? Promiscuous?
Salacious.
Sure, whatever. We like men. I'm just leaving it at that. Great intro. Okay. I'm so good at this. This is why I haven't done one since the first episode. Anyway, welcome. I am the Pixel Doctor. I guess we're matchmaking today, so matchmaking Pixel Doctor.
Yeah, I'm Haruka. I'm one with a very interesting list of men that I would match with.
I am your Sultry Sammy.
Hello, I'm Mordred, your friendly Kitsune.
And I'm contestant number 1, Fexick.
You're number 5, actually.
I'm fifth in line, but I'm contestant number 1. That's all that matters.
All right. Well, yes. Today we're doing Husbandos, anime Husbandos to be specific. That being said, few rules, not that many. So just to keep it brief, character must be confirmed 18 at some point in the story, even if it's at the very end. Then we accept them as of legal age. That is how that is going to work. Or if there is canonical information the mangaka or whoever gave later after the story, like yes, this character is 18 at this point, then we accept that as true information as well. It has to be officially approved information. It cannot be fan speculation or anything like that. Second rule, kind of obvious. Character must be male. They must identify or otherwise be labeled as male. We do not accept disguises. Disguises are not the truth. If the character themselves must see themselves as male. That being said, I think that's about all. Unless anyone has anything to say, I can get started here because I'm going first today. And I'm gonna go off with the one character who I am most worried about being stolen. I'm going with Tatsu from Way of a House Husband.
Motherfucker.
Ooh.
See, this is the one I was like, at least one person is gonna have. There's an image of him for those that haven't seen. The people that are seeing on screen, he's already there. So
respect.
Yes, thank you. Tatsu is a fun character. He's a former Yakuza boss, if I remember correctly. It's been a little bit since I've watched. A very handsome, very intimidating guy. Scar over his eye, or that's his hair. Well, tattooed up.
No, scar.
But he gives the life up and becomes, as the title suggests, a house husband, which is hilarious. Very, very sensitive and caring about his wife. He loves his wife. He adores her. He does everything he can for her, while at the same time just being a house husband. So he's accidentally protecting his home, getting into all these ridiculous situations. But the reason, aside from like him just being a good-looking fella, that I picked him is that again he's good to his family. Well, his wife. He doesn't have a kid, but he does have a cat. He loves his cat. And he cleans, he is not vain to the fact that he was a former Yakuza boss and gave all that up just to take care of a household. Clearly this man is not a bad person, aside from having actually been the former Yakuza. He's a good guy who is going to take care of you at the end of the day. Yeah,
definitely a good pick. And I love how he approaches all of life's situations the way a Yakuza would, all the way down to how he talks about things.
So that adds to it. So you got this kind of funny guy going around, just he's thinking he's talking normally, and he's just not. He's scaring people that don't know him around, and he's talking tough to all these other guys who are mixing him up with these situations. So he's accidentally funny too.
Do gotta say, you picked a good hit. You did a good job.
Go watch
Bit
the
of
show.
fluff, but I love that he's always so intense and referencing the old ways, like when doing I think it was yoga.
Definitely. It definitely has some moments when he's like shopping and stuff. Does like that too.
Mhm.
That's like one of the best parts of his character. Like, it's definitely baked into him, but he does it in a positive way.
Like when he was trying to join his local housewives association, and he treated the head of the association like a Yakuza boss.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny and really wholesome, but I had to pick him right away because I'm like, someone is likely gonna pick him, so I had to go for it.
You would be correct in that assessment. I totally would have.
So I'm gonna pass it off here to MJ. Show us your first husbando. Please don't steal.
My first choice I'm going to get out of the way is from a actually fairly popular series, My Hero Academia. I'm going with Genjiro Tobita, also known as Gentle Criminal.
Ooh, love
Now,
him.
All right.
Now, I have to admit, ever since he came onto the screen with La Brava, top tier. Fortunately, the show went downwards afterwards, in my opinion, but, you know. But he is what people would call a fuck-up. Tries to do his best, but no matter what he does, it always seems to backfire on him. That was at least until he decided to go into the criminal side of things. And bringing in his lovely, might as well be a power couple, La Brava, they proceeded to just run rampant in crime until finally, you know, they were unfortunately defeated by Deku. But they did at least get to turn over a new arc. And with that, though, that's really about all I'm going to say about him. He's just a really nice guy. He's always looking after La Brava. When she was worried about her under eye shadows, he literally took a permanent marker and colored under his eyes to make sure that she would never feel out of place.
Yeah, that was a really wholesome move.
Now, Gentle Criminal is I forgot. I haven't seen the character in a little bit, so I kind of forgot exactly what it looks like. Dude's handsome too. He is a handsome looking
Oh,
fella.
yeah.
He is
Sorry, I was
amazing.
dropping a picture of him.
I got it. Don't worry.
Thank you.
He's
But yeah, he's absolutely wonderful. And even when he's fighting, you know, Deku, he makes sure, you know, he actively states, you know, if you hadn't gone out of your way to save that woman, I would have made sure that, you know, the old woman who was, like, in the way of, like, I think it was a steel girl that he had rubberized wouldn't have gotten hurt, because he's not a terrible person. He makes sure that, you know, no matter what, you know, doesn't hurt other people.
I am a bad guy. That does not mean I am a bad guy.
Yeah.
exactly.
No.
And, you know, the power of turning anything you touch elastic is also just kind of cool.
Is that?
Oh, yeah.
that's-
Gentle
yeah.
is a prankster at best by the sense no one gets hurt.
It's,
Mhm.
Actually, yeah, that's kind of true. He's kind of just like a YouTube. You know what? He's a prank YouTuber. It actually makes too much sense now.
The only difference is that he actively goes out of his way to try and prove, hey, this supermarket is selling expired pudding.
Hey, look, as soon as he came onto the screen, I was in love with him because he's my favorite type of character, which is a gentleman thief. He's amazing, and he's just a great person in general.
Solid pick, because I didn't even, like you said, My Hero. My first thought was All Might. I completely forgot about Gentle Criminal. So,
Is the
This
way,
is
unfortunately.
well, I think he comes back later in the manga, which we'll see in a little bit with the anime. But regardless, solid.
Very much so.
But
See,
I pass it off.
Hold on.
My first thought went to my main pick for my hero.
It's
Yeah.
My Hero is very well written with how they've done the characters, despite what some people think.
It is. But since MJ is passing it off, I might as well get my personal favorite out of the way, so I make sure he is protected, loved, and cared for like the good little kitty he is.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go with Kiyosoma from Fruits Basket.
Okay.
All right, you know what? I love the.
This
Here's the cat
I-
picture.
I low-key forgot this series existed.
I was looking at
This-
it and I couldn't find a character, but yeah, let Sam talk. Sorry.
this character is such a rough and tough exterior, wants to be like the man's man, like the strongest there is, prove that he's got what it takes to everyone. But at the end of the day, he's the one hurting the most, and he's the one who can express the most love out of anyone. Even more than Toru. I forgot her name for a second. Because I whenever I see the show, it's always for Kyo. I absolutely love this guy. He's amazing. He does not deserve what comes to him, especially when he's tortured for being a monster and without those beads. But man, he have an amazing story.
I was gonna say, isn't the curse he has is that he turns into a cat?
No, that's a curse that the whole family has. They turn into Zodiac.
That's the curse of the whole family, but because he's the cat specifically, he gets a monster form.
Oh, right. It's been a little bit since I watched. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because the cat was the only one that wasn't in the original Zodiac, so the cat gets cursed in this one.
Yep.
And the dragon is a secret, which I think is funny.
Trust me, that character is also really surprising. Like, I almost did not hate them at the very end.
I like Fruit Facts a lot. It was a fun show to watch. Toru Honda honestly does kind of take a backseat to the side characters for the most part, but there are a lot of them. But
It's my only favorite non-movie anime. I love this show.
he's one of the best characters in the show, undeniably.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, one of the best characters ever written for me.
Mm-hmm.
And with my take finally out of the way, my heart can settle and pass it on.
I gotta get my favorite out of the way. I give One Piece so much shit, but I cannot ignore one character. Portgas D. Ace.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I cannot refute that, not even a little.
Yeah, no, good choice.
I like Ace, so.
Ace is fire.
This is.
I think I know him.
His whole bit of being made of fire and being narcoleptic, at least at first, was just amazing. This guy was an amazing brother to Luffy, but my god, they did him dirty.
They really did do him dirty, like, very hard. He got.
Yeah,
he got high school taunted, basically saying, "My dad could beat up your dad," and died because of that.
He didn't deserve that death.
No, he really didn't.
Not even a little.
He really could have went out a lot hard. Like, if he died in that arc, I'd be fine with it, but the way it was is unacceptable.
Akainu break an agreement.
It kind of breaks everything. He
I
sucks.
mean, outside of maybe Smoker, I've stopped expecting civility from the Marines.
It depends on which Marines. It's a bit of a schism there. You'll see that later if you keep watching.
They essentially said, "You get him outside this prison, you go free." Bastard said, "Fuck that, you die today."
Well, like I said, he just taunted him with a playground taunt, and Ace fell for it. That's basically what happened.
Low blow.
But Ace, very, very carefree, very fun, and very hot. Because he's fire.
Literally.
I will never forget the pain I felt seeing his death.
You know, I want to feel bad for it, but I felt worse for the married being destroyed.
Fair point.
It's only because I was disappointed that was the way he died, but that's, otherwise. And we didn't get enough time with him, I think. I think we need more screen time with Ace. He had more than some other characters, but I think some more would have helped.
Yeah, not wrong.
And the fact Whitebeard died after just hit me in the feelings harder, why don't you?
The Whitebeard death hurt more, but the Whitebeard's reaction to Ace's death is what hurt the worst.
You can tell everyone in the crew loved Ace. To see Whitebeard, that mad added so much more pain.
The Whitebeard crew was basically one big family, so I feel like any death would have really hurt, but Ace was special in the fact that it was also kind of a link to Roger for Whitebeard too, because they were friends. Frenemies.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So,
yeah, that would have hit
Yes.
him.
We gotta move on, because this is gonna hurt our souls if we continue on this one.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm gonna put forward for my first pick, Yami Sukahiro from Black Clover.
I contemplated this pick, actually. I was like, there's only one kind of reason I didn't pick him, and he's just a little too vulgar for my liking.
Yeah, and see, that's because like you mentioned the way that Tatsu talks and carries himself, and Yami puts me in a very similar headspace. But historically, I like confidence in women. You know, the poise and aura of someone who knows that they can handle business when the chips are down is very nice, and I can't imagine that would change if I were to suddenly bat for the other team. So, captain of the Black Bulls, he's the boss of series protagonist Asta, and Yami is one of, I believe, only 2 Magic Knight captains who aren't nobles. So to add insult to xenophobic injury, he's the only Magic Knight who isn't even from the Clover Kingdom, where the majority of the story takes place. So he's an outsider and a peasant who had to work his ass off to earn his place amongst the court of snooty nobles and royals who do their part throughout the whole series to draw attention to the kingdom's class system. He's a swordsman, which I always find appealing. And he also uses dark magic, which is both cool and relatively unique. But most importantly, in my biased opinion, the man is never going to bullshit you. If you're doing a good job, he commends you. If you're in the wrong, he calls you out. If you're annoying him, he threatens your health. But most importantly, he looks out for his subordinates and the people he cares about and tries to bring out their best, even when the deck is stacked against them. He's got enough morals to know right from wrong, enough independence to blur that line when he needs to, and enough humility to kind of put his own opinions aside if someone else wants to forgive someone else who blurs the line a little too much. He knows he can stand on business with enemies he encounters, and he isn't above going out with an honest smile to a superior foe after he tries his absolute best. And I feel like he'd be candid and supportive, if a little brusque, and since that's more or less what I've got now in real life, I'd say that's a pretty good deal.
Yami is one of my favorite characters in that show. Like I said, the only reason I didn't put him on my list, because I did contemplate him, was just because he's too vulgar, but if you can go past that, I can honestly see.
I can easily look past that. Like a lack of social class has never bugged me.
It's not even the social class, it's just some of the things he says. It's just like, I don't like the way he said that. But,
fair enough.
He's a good-looking guy, and like I said, he is him. He is him, both as in he is himself and he is that guy.
Oh yeah, Yami is absolutely that guy, and he knows it.
Not only that, he knows when he needs to step down, because in the last fight of the anime, currently, he passes his sword off to Asta, like, yeah, I can't finish this, I need you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like...
Honest to God, I respect this choice. I didn't choose him because I'm still watching the show, but I know enough to not have gotten spoiled.
Oh yeah, no, like... Yami's a solid kid. Probably one of the best older characters in that show.
And he makes a very good mentor character, too, and you can tell just by how much, because all of the Black Bulls look up to him and would literally lay everything down for him.
Yeah, no... A lot of people hate on Black Clover because they say, it's just screaming, it's just Naruto, a wizard, blah, 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 blah. But, like, honestly, the show is so well written and so fun. The character dynamics are really good. And Yami and Asta are like the 2 center points of it for the Black Bulls.
They really are. And especially in later seasons, you can see just how much Yami influences Asta with his fighting style, like even doubling down in I think it's the final arc in the anime, with his slight change in appearance. Zach, you know what I'm on about.
Oh, yeah. No, I can definitely see it. I didn't think of it before, but I can definitely see it.
To be fair, I have heard a lot of the show being all about screaming early on when it was first coming out, but then afterwards people settled down, and yeah, I think this show has been praised a lot for its writing over time. So
Asta's just a very
come from there.
Yeah, Asta's just a very loud character, and there are numerous times where Yami actually calls him out on that.
He does it from right from the beginning, but it is one of my favorite shows.
Black Clover is steadily becoming a favorite for me.
Mordred has good taste. So, but
you guys watch shonen, that's the thing.
We do. We not as much as I used to, but Black Clover, I just can't help it. It's just fun. It's a fun, good, well-written show.
It is that.
The very loud main character. I can't deny that he's loud, but he's fun still. Basically, the English voice actor and the Japanese voice actor. I've watched in both languages. Both are really good.
Oh, consistency is important.
Although there was there is some animation issues here and there, but that's going off topic a bit, so I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah. But steadily moving right along. Then for my second pick, I'm going to put forward Kisame Hoshigaki from Naruto and Naruto Shippuden.
I'm not sure how I feel about this one.
So confidence is important, and I don't think anyone would argue that Kisame suffers any shortage. But in a long-term relationship, there's one virtue that should be prized more highly than any other, and that is loyalty. And I have seen few characters in anime exhibit loyalty quite like this guy. So Kisame, he started off basically as an intern for the 7 Ninja Swordsmen of the Mist, and he, prioritized his loyalty for his village above all else. So much so that when his comrades were captured by interrogators, Kisame personally connected them to the Great Sage's Wi-Fi to keep them from leaking any precious info. And he wore the stain of being a comrade killer for the sake of his village, and he did it with his head high. But when he found out that his boss and mentor Fuguki was basically doing the same thing, selling information, he similarly rendered Fuguki past tense, claiming the iconic sword Samehada or shark skin when he did so. And despite the praise that he received for his loyalty, Kisame became disillusioned and believed the world was full of lies. He hated that and viewed himself as worthless and horrible. And it wasn't until Toby came around and offered Kisame a place in the Akatsuki that Toby was able to appeal to that side of him. And when he was brought in, Kisame became the only member of the Akatsuki besides Toby and Zetsu who knew about the actual plan of the group. Kisame was given the truth, and Kisame responded with unflinching loyalty to their mission. And this loyalty rears its head around again when he's, assigned to work with Itachi, even going so far as to warn Itachi when they first meet to watch out for him because he knows what he is, and he knew that at some point he might be ordered to kill Itachi. But he also shows legitimate sadness when Itachi's later killed, and in his own final moments thought about his brother-in-arms and gratefully recalled what he told Kisame about death. And speaking of Kisame's final moments, let's touch on that for a sec. This man was humbled by Might Guy and effectively captured by Leaf Ninja, who intended full well to fish from this fish all the secrets that the Akatsuki had to offer. But loyalty is Kisame's bread and butter, like I said, so after breaking free of his restraints and conjuring a water prison around himself, he summoned a pair of water sharks that ate him alive so the information he had would never make it into the hands of his organization's enemies. This guy literally died for the few people he cared about, and if we're talking partners in crime, combat, life, love, whatever, that kind of ride or die mentality is worth its weight in gold.
A fair
I've always loved this character's design beforehand, and now knowing all that, like ever since the first time I saw him in Naruto, that just makes me appreciate him as a person even more, and then him as like combat a soldier. That's just a cherry on top now.
Yeah, like he's very genuine, and all he expects from people he deals with is the same courtesy.
Yeah, it's kind of those things that, like, if other people around him didn't lie, he would still be on the good guy side. But to him,
oh yeah, and once you get past his slightly sadistic sense of humor, like there was that one time, I think the first time he's really encountered by Naruto, he says, "Well, we can't kill him, but hey, Itachi, can I just cut off his legs so he can't run away?" But even before that, like for people who he's objectively on the other side of things with, like Kurenai, Asuma, Kakashi, even when he was squaring up to fight with those people, he went out of his way to politely introduce himself first. Like he's not an asshole.
No, yeah. Like I generally think he's a good guy on the other team just because he can't trust them, so he shouldn't give them this trust. That's basically what it boils down to.
Yeah,
he
but
has a moral code that he follows, and he follows it to his dying breath. That is a person you want on your side, regardless of who you are.
Yeah, because I think the squad of his comrades that he originally killed, they got caught by Ibiki, and you've seen with the tuning exams, like that dude gets the information he wants.
Yeah. The only downside for me is the look. I'm not crazy about. It's mostly his eyes that are bothering me.
I mean, I like monster girls, so I can easily move past the shark features.
It's just the eyes that are bothering me.
Hey, look, I like sharks.
I like sharks too. I don't like the shark eyes on the person. That's all I'm saying.
I have some art to share with you later then.
We'll deal with that later.
But yes, with that is my second pick, so I will pass the ball back to Mordred.
Fun fact. Kisame was paired with Itachi because he was meant to kill Itachi if Itachi stepped out of line because Itachi was suspected of being a spy early on.
I believe that.
I believe it too. good tidbit of information there.
That actually makes way too much sense. Like send the comrade killer to go and take out the potential spy. Though thinking about it, that would make Hisame's introduction to him make a lot more sense.
I forget.
And
the
it
initial
became a
introduction.
strong friendship over time.
I think the only one in the series, like between Akatsuki partnerships, I think it was them and then Pain and Konan were the only two teams where the members actually got along.
That being said, again, Mordred, your turn.
So for my second I got to jump over to Bleach. I cannot and will not ignore Espada number 4, Ulquiorra Schiffer.
Yeah, I've actually, I'm woefully behind on Bleach, so I look forward to being educated right now.
Well, let me pull up the image for you. I might say you would say yes if there was a girl version of this character.
Oh, okay, this guy.
Yeah.
It's an ice
Most of the
dragon.
Bleach characters I like are all female.
I was gonna say, this dude is all over the internet. I've at least seen his face.
Well, he's got 2 forms, so there's the
This
other form.
man was one of, if not the most dedicated member of Aizen's army.
Oh.
100% true, and potentially the most powerful, but because he didn't reveal that second form to anyone other than the main character. Most powerful of the Espada, I should say, not of the cast.
The fact he was so powerful his sword release made it rain green just added so much intensity to his fight.
His fight scene is really good with Ichigo, and this is one of those characters that's like kind of confused about his place in the world, of kind of like what he's dealing with. Like he's like, what does it mean to be human, and what does it mean to be? Because he doesn't understand, because he's not human. So like, he's asking a lot of very deep questions.
Existentialism.
Pretty much, it's basically his kind of his role. Like what makes them different from each other. But it's not in the way of. Yeah, it's
always
not.
appreciate character questions.
Yeah, it's not so much in a way of like. It's more like he wants to understand, but he'll do what he has to do to try to understand the difference. He doesn't feel like sympathy for until like his very end. He's like, oh, I get it now.
Isn't that always how it is?
Generally, not all the time.
Well, when I get around
His
to watching
development went from, what is a heart? And asking where he'd find one like, if I were to tear open your chest, or crush someone's skull. The fact that Oraheim reached out to him in the end just how's he was respected in some way.
Yeah, like his whole thing is he's interacting with Orihime through it, which is like the main female character of the show. But she gets captured, and like he wants to, he tries to understand by talking to her, but he does like he understands a heart's a physical thing, but she kind of explains, from what I remember, she kind of explains there is like a spiritual kind of aspect to it that he just doesn't quite get.
Kind of reminds me of a far more powerful Sai in that regard.
That's kind of similar, actually. Very possible if you're inspired Sai, because I'm pretty sure he existed in the manga well before Sai did.
Yeah, and again, I'm woefully behind on Bleach, so I'm just drawing from similar situations I can think of in other anime, so eventually I'll get around to catching up, so I intend to be re-educated, let's say, on this character.
It's similar, but not the same.
Oh, of course,
Whenever I
yeah.
get around to watching Bleach for the first time, it's gonna be interesting to see this character pop up.
We might as well start at the same time, Sam, because I've forgotten pretty much everything about it.
It's been a while since I've watched it, but Netflix only went up to like the end of the invasion arc, which is like the very beginning. I forget what that arc's called. The Sarate invasion. So
Still more than I've seen.
yeah, I do like watching it for that old 2000s
In the end,
animation
he
style.
actively protected Ichigo's group from Ichigo, which shows he wasn't a fan of friendly fire, and I just loved his character as a whole.
Out of all the Arrancar characters, he's definitely the best written. Design-wise, I think he's pretty solid too. He's got that edgy riz to him.
Definitely.
Tumblr boy, sexy man.
He pretty much. That is a good way to explain it, actually, Sam.
Tumblr boy, sexy man. I like
He's
that.
like the Onceler, but emo.
Not a character I thought my mind would be going to in this video, but hey, here we are.
Well, when I think of Tumblr
Like we
sexy
saw
man,
him backhand someone 2 to 3 feet taller than him, that was his ally because he was annoying.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. That was early on.
But Ulquiorra's biggest ability to note was high-speed regeneration. Man regrew whole-ass limbs.
He did, until he didn't.
I always love busted healing factors. They're so fun.
Until it got overloaded.
Yeah, there was just one hit where it's like, oh, there's no coming back from this anymore. He was doing pretty good, and then he started getting fucked up.
That one hit destroyed organs.
Why
Which
can't I see the back of my torso?
Didn't quite get to that level. More like he's basically cut to ribbons without them actually animating it.
I made a different reference.
Yeah, you got the old Rasen Shuriken treatment. There's no recovering from that.
Basically.
Oh shit.
And because of their souls, he just disintegrates after saying his final question. Or like, I think his final sentence was something either he finally understands what a human heart is, or he still didn't get it. I forget which one. I think he understood at the end what it meant to have a human heart.
I don't even know this guy, and I hope he understands.
Well, it was revealed later he was part of an older race of hollows.
Oh, see, now that I didn't know.
His mask didn't break because of Aizen. It was because he approached a special tree.
Alright, well, I think we got, unless Mordred has any final thoughts here.
Men are great.
Hey, dude's wrong.
Too drunk, and you will remember that.
Overall, I just have to say he was one of the best characters to catch my eye growing up.
I agree. Bleach was one of my favorite shows when I was like a teenager. Also,
I
Sam,
also agree. And remember,
We are thousands of feet in the air.
Sam, I didn't even mean to make that reference at first. Oh no. It's bleeding into our other content. Alright, Sam, show us why dudes rock.
okay, I will show you all why men are great. Wait.
Long?
So, my that was really. Anyways, my next pick is going to be one that I have to pick now. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure at the very least Doc might snipe it.
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry to do this to you, but we're going with Izumi. He's Izumi Miyamura from Horimiya.
Sam, I
I absolutely.
I did look at this character. I think. Oh no, because I looked at his girlfriend. Is he actually 18 by the end?
He's 19. He's 19.
Oh, I thought. Oh, then she's.
I double checked to make sure.
Okay.
I'm liking the tattoos offhand.
No, this
Yep,
character's great, and I would have picked him, but I thought he was 17.
Nope, I double checked.
Okay, I trust you.
Yeah,
You were.
I had to make sure because this character is absolutely amazing. For as rough as he looks currently, this is his casual fit. This is like what he enjoys wearing. Most of the time, he's just sitting around being the nerdy loner in class, and he doesn't really look all that impressive until, well, the main character runs into him one day, and oh, he's actually super hot. Okay.
Oh, he has tattoos. He's a criminal.
I hate
Well,
that
we
about
find that out
him.
later. But yeah, there's his. You can see the other.
His
What,
school,
yeah,
his
the-
school form and his casual form.
Yeah, the,
Yep.
the juxtaposition between his personas.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he's such a nice guy as well. Like, he seems like he'd be rough and tumbly, but no, he's very chill. He just likes to be alone most of the time, and when he starts to meet her, the class president, I forget her name, Hore?
Yeah, because I think the show's title is the mix of the two of them.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, pretty sure. But yeah, when he starts to meet her, he starts coming around her place more often, helping out, helping with her little sister, who absolutely loves him, by the way. The family absolutely loves this guy. He's so sweet, so caring, and just seeing them start the relationship and that relationship develop over time throughout the entire show, it's such an amazing journey. It feels so realistic, and it's the one time two characters in the anime sleep together, and I verbally cheered.
Yeah, like it's done very romantically instead of like, oh, they're really going at it. It's like, no, this is they care about each
It's
other.
done respectfully. Yes, very much so.
Respectfully and tastefully. And obviously, they don't show anything aside from them starting and the end
It's a fade
result.
to black. It's a fade to black.
Yeah, like,
but you know what happened. It's done so maturely and so respectfully, and it is such an amazing anime. I recommend everyone watch this.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris and his wife about this a little bit. Well, I was talking to Chris about it before. I was talking to AJ about it a little bit last night. And it is a solid show. I also recommend to everyone. And
this is why I love Slice of Life.
Oh yeah, no, it's so nice, and had I realized that this character was 18, which Mordred has given me proof the character's 18, I probably already put it on screen just to show people I was wrong. But I would have picked him round. Well, I probably still would have picked Tatsu because I knew he was probably more likely to be picked. But Sam did take this one from me, if I realized. But yeah, I like it. And the thing is with his character is the only thing he changes from school to his casual is how he looks. That's the only thing. He doesn't change his attitude or anything towards anyone. He's the same person at school and at home. He just hides his tattoos because he doesn't want people judging him.
Yeah, which in Japan actually is a big deal.
And he's very friendly with everyone, but he also he does like to mess with a few people here and there. And he does take advantage of the fact that he does look scary sometimes, mostly to mess with the class president. But
although when he starts hanging out with her and he starts meeting her friends that are like average, like in the classroom, they start getting friendly with him as well and start getting to know him, and he starts breaking out and just showing people, yeah, no, he's just a cool guy. People just think he's scary. That's it. I'm not gonna hurt you. Probably gonna help you.
This is it.
And maybe give you a little smooch.
Well, he did mess with some of the other characters with that, didn't he?
I think once or twice.
Once or twice, he definitely messed with one of the other two characters. But highly recommend. All the characters of the show are fun and realistic, but this character is solid, and I have to. This might lean me towards Sam's list a little bit right now.
Absolutely.
Oof, this is going to be a tough ranking at the end here.
I could keep on with just these two characters forever.
Me and Sam could do a whole video on it by ourselves.
Very much so. But we should move on. MJ, I want to hear your opinion on who you got next.
Well, my next pick, I decided, everything here's been down to earth,
Yeah.
Everyone's, been, planetary bound, so why not go to space?
Oh, thank God.
And be like all of the Star Trek thing. Where you go out and you find strange new races and attempt to have relations with them.
Oh, no. Wait a second. Are you doing...
What do you think I'm doing?
I forget the name of the show. I haven't seen it. The one where, they sleep with a bunch of different races.
Technically, no.
Okay.
I'm going to Space Battleship Yamato. And specifically, I am talking about Elk Dolmel, the Space Wolf. But Elk Dolmel is dubbed the Space Wolf. He's one of the Gamalos Empire's most brilliant tacticians. And while he is part of the Gamalos Empire, which itself is currently attempting to bomb and terraform Earth to be more like their home planets because their home planet is dying, he is not a terrible person. And the fact that when he does meet the Terran battleship Yamato, and he does get a chance to talk to its captain, he doesn't hold any ill regard for them, or even hate them. As he states, it is just his job as a soldier, and he would be dishonoring those who died on the battlefield if he did not give it his all. On top of that, he ends up unfortunately being caught up in a conspiracy due to his wife having been part of a conspiracy to kill the great leader of the Gamalos Empire. So, unfortunately, he was left to fight in a suicidal battle against the space battleship Yamato and gave his life attempting to destroy it in order for his wife to be freed. Luckily for him, even though that he failed, in the end, his wife was able to be freed, and the Gamalas Empire ended and was replaced with a more democratic empire, which was not deciding to enslave other races just to survive, but instead was working with the humans in order to go forward with a cooperative agreement to save everyone. Yeah, that's it. He's just a cool space officer, man. And he's hot. Like, hot.
Well, all right
I
then.
can agree on both of those marks.
I feel like he's a little plain in the looks, but I'm also straight.
I mean, I'm willing to float MJ this. He is an attractive-looking dude. Military men just don't do much for me.
Here's a full body shot of him. This man is like ripped.
He is pretty shredded.
Well, doesn't he look cocksure?
I mean, to be
Shut
fair,
up.
to be fair, he does actually almost defeat the Yamato like twice, unfortunately due to meddling and or the Yamato's crew just being actually insane. They managed to survive.
I'm getting like anime Zap Brannigan vibes. Am I allowed to get anime Zap Brannigan vibes?
You know,
Except he's actually competent.
As I said, I had similar feeling. There's something about the face that gives me a little bit of Homelander. It's specifically that second
you're
picture.
right.
That second picture specifically.
I'd argue that sure, you can make the comparisons to Zap Brannigan, but he's actually competent as a leader and cares for his people.
Right on.
Alright.
He's a chill dude.
He's alright.
I can see that.
Not my cup of
What?
tea, or in this case, not my spaceship.
Well, in that case, Zach, what is your cup of tea?
Well, first of all,
What is your speech?
write this dude on the list because I'm never going to remember his name otherwise. Second of all, I'm going with this other one I'm worried about being stolen. And now that you've gone twice, MJ, and Mordred is gone, I don't feel so worried now because I'm picking him right now. I'm going with the one true king, the one above all. The red-haired man himself. I'm going with Alexander the
Yamato.
Great from Fate.
Okay,
Oh, no.
I can see that.
The father among fathers. This dude is dad incarnate, honestly, because I forget the name of the person he's attached to for the
Velvet Waverly.
is that the kid's name?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He also goes by Lord El Malloy later.
That's the one I'm familiar with. Because I think he goes by El Malloy still in the regardless.
Waver.
Yeah, Waver. Regardless, Alexander, or I forget what his actual name, Iskandar, is if you have not seen the show, he is great. I love him. He's just
I
like
almost chose him.
see
Mhm.
you two are the ones I was worried about picking him, but like he's dad, like fun dad incarnate, because he just wants to chill, but he also like wants he wants Waver to become more of a man because he's kind of a bitch the whole show. In was it Zero? I think it was Zero. In Fate
Yeah.
Zero, he's trying to like raise him up and also be like chill. He's like, bro, I don't need to worry right now. Like I can handle this if I need to. Like we'll deal with this when the time comes. So he's just kind of like vibing out while Waver's freaking out. It's like, all right, I hate you because you're kind of like a scared bitch. You're gonna do what I say for the most part. But he's also like doing his best to groom him into be like a strong like man. And when he finally like needs to step up, he steps up like strong. He only loses because fucking writing cheated him out of a win. Honestly, I feel like.
I mean, to be fair, he did decide to go face to face across a bridge against Gilgamesh.
Yeah, and Gilgamesh was a bitch and lost to Emiya.
Yes.
So Gilgamesh just had hacks, but Alexander, he just his I forget what they called them in there, but his item thing that he uses is basically a domain expansion from JJK, takes you to another world with his entire army of like tens of thousands of people, and you have to fight all of them against him.
Noble Phantasm.
Thank you.
Yep.
I couldn't remember the name. So like, if you want a fun dad who has the strength to back you up, Alexander or Iskandar is your guy.
Not sure I'd want that in a lover, but okay.
I've heard a
He
lot of
went
great
against
things
the
about.
world-destroying sword too, though.
Hey, look at him.
I've heard a lot of great things about Iskandar, and also I just have to add this because my joke might have been off color. It was a joke. I only did that because you were going King of Kings. I was like, ah, yeah, the King of Games.
I didn't
The
even
world's
hear
not
it,
ready.
but yes, absolute daddy vibes with this dude. So someone's gonna be happy with that pick.
There's a reason why in the fandom he is called Broskander.
He is.
Muscle daddy vibes.
Exactly.
Indeed.
See, they get it.
He would lead the Bromans to victory.
Let's.
He would sail across the Broshan and high five Brosidon.
It's true.
Indeed.
I think him and Brosidons are actually friends.
Dude, he'd even pass over into my pantheon and high five Broden
Hell
he is
yeah.
he is both bro and father.
with his magic hammer Brolnir.
Brolnir.
And then he'd introduce himself as the son of Bruce. That one doesn't work.
No.
Plus,
Maybe-
you tried.
maybe-
And Zeus is.
It's
How would you do Bro Zeus?
Gross.
Rose.
Rose.
Anyway. Well, you know what, Chris? If he's not quite your vibe, I understand. It's fine. Maybe you're more of a true family man, someone who would literally do everything for his family and country, and died for them
You're not
too.
wrong.
I'm going for Maze Hughes from Full Metal Alchemist.
I salute
Definitely.
you.
He was in my running. He absolutely was.
Yeah, Maze Hughes. First of all, it hurts right away. If you know, you know. But
Yeah.
It's a terrible day for rain.
yeah, it really is, isn't it? It's a tragic character, but a totally wholesome character in a series of not so many wholesome characters.
No kidding.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like he's literally a family man. Your introduction to him is like him inviting the Elric brothers to his house to have dinner with his family, which
Dad of the century.
yeah, he
Bring up
did.
pictures of his beautiful wife and beautiful daughter.
Man, like if you had dry eyes during that, like, mommy, why are they putting all that dirt on daddy? You're not human. I'm sorry.
That or you're too young to understand really the tragedy of that loss.
I was
Like-
too much in the closet to understand that.
It hurt. Like
Look,
that scene hurt.
It's
Like
coming up now. It's coming up now. I feel it.
like
Fun
It's-
fact, in the original anime, the Elric brothers were there for his daughter's birth.
so even more to that connection. Which Mace Hughes like everyone here already knows like this is it's a tragic loss but a really strong character because
You don't really have to preach to this choir.
I'll do it for the audience because people will complain if I don't. Mace Hughes, again, we already said it. He gloats about his family just because he loves them so much. He's not even like trying to gloat. He just does it. And even in his final moments, he's thinking about his wife and daughter.
A strong driving point for those who loved him.
Yeah, like he didn't like sacrifice himself, but he dedicated himself to his work as much as his family. Like he was trying to make the country safer for them. And unfortunately, him being too smart and too good at his job is what got him killed. Because he had pretty much figured out everything by that point.
In terms
Yep.
of being a man, a husband, and a father, is the equivalent of the square root of -100.
He
A
is,
perfect 10,
yeah,
but no longer with us.
He is a top father, honestly. And I was like, I didn't even think about him until like a couple minutes before we all got together here today. I'm like, oh right. I was like, because I was looking through all my anime. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to. And this one hurts, but it had to be done. It always hurts talking about Maze.
Yeah. But he definitely earned his spot.
Someone had to respect him, and it was me.
Beautiful soul.
Oh, we all
I
respect
knew someone would take him, so I didn't choose him.
I had him as a backup because I had a strong feeling he was going to be sniped, but I'm glad he at least made somebody's top 5.
He had to. He had to.
I agree.
That being said, MJ.
Quick question, Zach, because my brain's forgetting the rules slightly. Since you chose one from Fate, I can't choose one from Fate, correct?
No, you can choose one from Fate. It just can't be the same character.
Okay, well, luckily, I'm choosing the superior character.
Okay.
Because as much as Broskandar is cool, there are still cooler men than him. There are
Impossible.
many cooler men than him.
Impossible.
Well, I don't know, but Zach, you chose Broskandar, who is in his right, all very, very cool. But there's a man that's even cooler than him. You always, called Broskandar the cool dad, saying that he's, the best dad ever. Well, what about the cool grandpa? And for that, I bring out the first Hassan, the old man of the mountain, also known as
Wasn't
the Grand
he assassin
Assassin.
in Fate Zero?
Yeah, I believe he was in Fate Zero. No, he wasn't. No, he was the one in Fate Zero. Is Hassan of the 100 Faces.
Gotcha.
Yep,
Alright,
he is from
interesting.
Fate Go, and actually did get into the anime movie, anime movies involving him, which is why I chose him. He is known as the first Hassan, the first to take the title of Hassan is Sabath, and is known as the Grand Assassin, King Hassan. And he is one of the coolest dudes ever. I mean, he's the leader of 19 different wraiths, who are all considered heroic spirits, and more or less is just super undead assassin man with really cool powers. And he's in the Fate movies, he doesn't actually pop up too much, but when he does, he always goes absolutely over the top with whatever he does, usually helping the party. But he's just, I don't know, we don't need looks for a man to be considered a husbando. And of course,
Wasn't
being
he
undead,
labeled the strongest assassin servant?
Mm-hmm. That is very true from what he shows off. But you don't need looks to be considered husbando or be the coolest there is. And I think he's got the looks with the outfit.
Armor's pretty
Definitely a
cool.
cool outfit.
Got that ghoul look.
Mm-hmm. He first pops up in the Fate Go movie that involves Babylon with Castor Gilgamesh, which is a much more interesting version of him. But when he really steps into his own is during the Lost Belt, or the Lost Belt that is more or less, to explain it, King Arthur's court gets teleported to the Middle East.
Oh, interesting.
And it's with the King Arthur, who's known as Lancer Artoria, whose whole thing is that they are no longer considering people. They don't consider specific people humans completely. Only those completely worthy of the judgment of Artoria are considered people. Anyone else dies.
Huh.
And Hassan doesn't fuck around. You run. He actually goes toe to toe with Gawain, who is completely invulnerable while in light. So what Hassan does is when he pops up, he creates a massive sandstorm around him. No more sun, no more invulnerability.
Okay, that's a pretty nice counter to that.
Gawain keeps trying to hit him, and he literally just uses his coat to block him.
Again, historically done and a good move.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't know he was assassin, I'd have guessed Berserker from his appearance alone.
He
I know,
does
right?
kind of have a bit of a berserker vibe to him.
Yeah, if Fate servants, archers, it's a meme, but archers are the archer class. Totally.
True.
Well, archers are archers, and most of them don't, fucking throw shit at people instead. Or, in Tomoe Gozen's case, just punch people!
The rules are inconsistent.
This dude is so powerful that he goes 1v1 with Tiamat, the mother of all monsters.
Impressive.
The dude blocks their attack, and then just goes, yeah, no, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you.
I haven't seen Fate Go yet, so I don't know exactly.
Well, there's the mobile game, and then there's also the other things, but the movies are definitely pretty good.
Fate's universe is crazy. It's all over the place.
This is from the Fate. This is from the Fate Go stuff, so it's its own entire separate thing of time cops.
Oh, good, great. Make it even more complicated.
Not really. It's its own entire thing. It can, completely ignore that. Oh, and when I said he blocked, Gawain's Galatane, he let Gawain have the power of the sun and just casually blocked it. Like, dude gives 0 fucks. But yeah, no, that's it. Just really
I
cool.
do have a
band.
question for when we finish up because Fate Go is confusing the hell out of me over someone.
Well, we'll deal with
That's
that
fine.
later.
We can. Yeah, but with that, I'm gonna pass it on to see what interesting male husbandos can top the coolest grandpa ever.
Well, you know what? We talked about the coolest dad from Fate. We talked about the coolest grandpa from Fate. Why don't we just go direct and just go with whoever the son is? Because as much as this character is memed on from the Fate series, you gotta admit he's a really good character, and I'm picking Astolfo from Fate Apocrypha.
Yeah.
You threw me off with that one. When you said son, I was thinking you were gonna go Kukulane, who is just objectively the coolest.
Hey, he may be the coolest, but I've only watched one Fate season myself, and that was Apocrypha. And I was amazingly surprised when I found out that Astolfo is played as a super serious character.
Oh yeah, no, he's absolutely wonderful in that regard.
He's amazing. The 7th hero of Charlemagne deserves so much more than the internet gives him because his personality is just fun. He's fun to be around. He identifies completely as a male, but he has absolutely no problem rocking a blouse, a tube top, a skirt, anything. He rocks whatever he wants. And just to see how far he goes with the main character, even going through his own torturous experience with his previous master, because gross, I'm glad stuff happens to her. He asks the main character to become his new master, and he's very happy and ecstatic about doing so. He willingly wants to lend his service to him and helped him get to the end of the show and beat the big bad, which it's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't have all the context. But his dedication is so poignant. I have to give it to him.
That's fair. One of my favorite things about Astolfo is one of his personal skills, because, Fate is basically just an RPG game on the surface. Evaporation of reason. He carelessly chatters about his own weaknesses, his team's weaknesses, and true names, because he is a moron.
Hey, as much as he is a moron, he is great and loving.
Look, being stupid is pretty cute.
Sometimes we like them, don't.
I am still pissed about Apocrypha, for one servant.
Was it Atalanta?
Mordred.
That's fair.
Right.
Yeah, she deserves more. You got that, Mordred? Mordred deserves more. But, yeah. Cool guy. Would in fact give him a smooch, and unlike some other characters that the internet likes to label as femboys, come on, Bridget and Ferris are trans girls. Astolfo is wholeheartedly trans boy and proud of it.
Respect.
Or femboy, not trans boy.
There you go. I was like, wait a second.
I mean, respect either way.
Trip myself up.
It's okay, we got there in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now I'm curious to see who Mordred's next husbando is. Please, make me blush.
We're going to a little more obscure with this round, so I'm curious myself. That being said, we got 3 fates, all
So
fates
Sam
in
did
a
the
row.
coolest son in Fate, but how about arguably the hottest son from Fate Apocrypha, Kana the Lancer of Red?
Hell yeah.
I don't know this character.
We're all going Fate this round. Let's go.
This entire round is lost on me.
Look, I'm mostly lost with Fate. I only seen one of them.
Oh, okay, this is an interesting look.
Kana is a demigod who is the son of the sun god.
Nice.
He's Indian, if I remember
Okay.
correctly.
Strong twink vibes.
Very. I could see him in a rock band, like a hair
You
metal
know
band.
what? With the shoulder fluff thing going on there, I 100% agree.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Like, regardless of his role, which he's definitely the singer, he's stealing the show.
Oh yeah.
This man can get away with that little armor and take little to no damage while also throwing the fucking sun at you.
Because his
God.
armor literally makes him invulnerable.
That sounds like cheating.
I mean, one of the other members of this cast, Siegfried, is literally immortal with his armor unless he's struck in the back of the neck.
This is some bullshit right here.
You say
And then there's
bullshit,
literally Dracula.
and literally Satan.
Oh, I like his front angle is actually really good there. You can get a good look at him.
He took on Dracula of all people and gave him a run for his money.
I would think so, considering it's the sun against Dracula.
Ironically, in this universe, all of that stuff about, how, vampires and that stuff affects Dracula because it's popular culture and it's infected the zeitgeist of what Dracula is.
Oh,
And he
right.
fucking hates it.
God damn it, I think I gotta go out in the sun. That's
I think
what
that's
I...
nice when it's lampshade stuff like that.
That's right. I forgot Fate does that, where they're affected by the cultural, meaning of the character at that time.
Mhm.
And look at his lance. I cannot ignore that badass weapon.
There we go. All right,
Okay.
simple and clean.
Yeah, that's pretty cool looking.
It's
It's the way that you're making me feel tonight.
I knew. Well, it's basically a big. It's basically a big needle with like a little sun emblem in the middle there.
And he's brother to Arjuna of Indian mythology.
Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with Indian mythology.
Nor I. Not
They
my
really
hair.
hate each other, that's all you need to know.
He's one of those no-nonsense characters you can't help but love.
So he plays the straight man, just trying to get things done.
The straight man, I get it.
It was a little bit of a joke, yes. I don't know what that is in that last screenshot, but it's cool looking.
That is his fate
Yeah,
extra
he
design.
claims to have no wish. Only to wield his spear in battle.
I say that last picture goes kind of hard.
Sounds like a simple man with simple desires.
That's his tier 3 design.
We've got a nice mix of thick men, regular men, and very skinny men going on here so far.
Twinks.
We do got twinks. We got twinks.
Oh, is that the term for that?
We got twinks. We got bears. I don't think we
got a
have
couple
anything.
otters.
We do got a couple otters.
I am so woefully inept when it comes to this kind of terminology.
So an otter is in between a bear and a twink. A bear
Okay.
is a big burly dude, usually hairy. Tend to be like the dad type, really strong, really loving.
Same.
That'd be like your Alexander. Twink is like your Astolfo, and then otter would be in the middle, like, well, this guy right here.
And like that, Fexick has context.
Da 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 da.
Gay lore drop.
New gay, who this?
Alright, well, unless Mordred has anything left to say, I believe it is back to Chris's turn.
That is all for me.
Thank you, Mordred.
All
I
right.
wonder which fake character Fexick is picking.
He doesn't
Well,
watch. He's
considering
never
I
seen
have
Fate.
considering I have exactly zero exposure with that series, prepare to be disappointed.
Ah.
Nope, I'm actually I'm taking it a slightly different direction, and I'm gonna put forward Gajiel Red Fox from Fairy Tale.
Okay.
You know, I'm a little surprised. I didn't even know you watched Fairy Tale before.
Oh yeah, of course. So there's a certain je ne sais quoi in my eyes to someone who defies the standards placed upon them by society. You know, for women, this usually means intelligent tomboys who flip the script on the whole damsel in distress bit, which I like. And for men, particularly in Gajiel's case, it's realizing that he has feelings and humbly owning up to past mistakes. So, formerly an S-rank mage from the Phantom Lord Guild, Gajiel was the main instigator in the war between Phantom and rival guild Fairy Tale. And to accomplish this, he administered a one-sided beatdown to Fairy Tale members Levi, Jet, and Droy using his Iron Dragon Slayer magic to nail their unconscious bodies to a tree, and he even branded the Phantom Lord's symbol on Levi's stomach. Dude wasn't just cold, he was downright disrespectful. And after getting his medal dented by Natsu, Phantom Lord was disbanded, and Gajiel joined Fairy Tale after being invited by Master Makarov. His joining was not popular among the existing members, especially the three that he pinned to a tree, with Levi in particular being traumatized and terrified of him. But while many just assumed he'd jump to the strongest team, Gajiel was in it for the long haul. And when Jet and Droid decided to get their get back, Gajiel pretty much laid his pride at the door and let both of them beat him down without making any effort to defend himself. He even took licks from Loxus, who was one of the strongest mages in Fairy Tail at the time, only moving when Loxus tried attacking Levy after she told him to stop, and ever since then, he's been loyal to the Fairy Tail Guild. As far as his qualities as a partner go, the show actually does a pretty good job at that, showing that he, eventually develops a relationship with Levy, so it's a nice reference point. Despite his pride and standoffish nature, he has moments of genuine vulnerability that he isn't afraid to show to someone that he loves. He's willing to do things that he would normally dismiss as ridiculous, and is particularly attentive to his partner's well-being and happiness. And in his final moments where he thought he was going to die, he laid it all on the line and made it clear exactly how much he could love and how appreciative he was to have received it in return. On top of that, Gagio can be competitive with people he cares about and whose skills he acknowledges, so I feel like it would make for a good kind of blade sharpening blades dynamic, with both pushing the other to be at our best. And the Iron Dragon Slayer might have a rough exterior, but he further proves the trope that the Tin Man had a heart all along.
And he gets Levy pregnant at the end of the series.
He does do that, which, respect. Levy's petite and she reads. Those are two big prerequisites for me checked off.
Not only that, he also gets flushed by that point, so he's kind of become more soft-hearted towards that point too. So again, the made of iron softens up the inside. So
yeah.
Which her pregnancy gets mentioned a lot in the spin-off 100 Year Quest manga.
Yeah, which is still ongoing, I believe. So
I'll have to look into that. I actually wasn't aware that existed.
Yep, it is. It randomly just started coming back at some point, and they're
going strong and getting an anime.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Which I will be watching.
Nice.
Gajo's not my favorite male character of the Fairy Tail cast, but he is a very good character overall, and I could see, because of the development he got over time, which also you can't tell me Levy doesn't develop a little bit of Stockholm Syndrome, considering what he did to her.
A little bit, yes, but I like characters who do evolve and have an arc, and Gajiel has one in spades.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely does. And I like his relationship with Natsu too, just again, that hammer thing. But it's just fun. He's a fun character. He's not a bad guy by any means. He's just kind of scary to people. The people in world, I should specify, not viewers.
Right.
Doesn't sound like
against viewers.
I was gonna say, it doesn't sound like anyone has any additional comments to that, so I guess we'll move on.
Right, then moving swiftly along, I was I got a little nervous when Mordred put Ace up here. I thought for sure she was about to snipe my pick, but seeing as she didn't, I'm gonna go ahead and put him out there now. I'm gonna go with Dracule Mihawk from One Piece.
Ooh. Alright, interesting.
So let's talk about patience for a second. In a committed relationship, patience is a treasured trait, especially in a long-term one where you've got plenty of time to be frustrated by the person you're with. Okay. But a patient partner can make it work and make it not feel like work. In this universe, Mihawk is the world's greatest swordsman. He acquired the title conceivably by defeating the previous world's greatest, and now has up-and-comers left and right accosting him to take it from him. Only thing is, he's a man and his challengers might as well be ants by comparison. As one of the 7 warlords of the sea, he stands among the most threateningly dangerous and powerful pirates in the world. His swordsmanship is great enough to deflect bullets, sever warships clean in half, and reduce entire armadas to splintered driftwood with minimal effort. And he does all of this while being one of the only consequential people in this universe who hasn't chown down on a devil fruit. Yet whenever he's approached by some young and dumb swordsman looking to make a name, he gives them their due time, however brief. Because while he may be patient and understanding enough to give his challengers their fair chance at beating him, Mihawk also makes it abundantly clear that that's very unlikely to happen. Dude knows he's the greatest, and he's not above turning the swagger up to 11 and reminding the pups why he's known and feared as such. He doesn't believe in holding back, no matter how vast the apparent gap in skill. That said, he still forewent his powerful black sword Yoru in favor of a small knife when brutally beating down Roronoa Zoro, noting that he wouldn't use a cannon to hunt a rabbit. But it's his first fight with Zoro that shows another side to his personality, one that can see the potential in others and who can appreciate the heights they might one day reach. It's this recognition that compelled him to spare Zoro's life, encouraging him to become strong enough to surpass him, and even train him personally for 2 years during the time skip. All the while, he keeps his bearing strong, his manner classy, and his speech urbane like he's some kind of pirate royalty. It would certainly be a challenge, since someone who isn't able to challenge Mihawk in some form or another might test the outer limits of his patience and restraint. But if he's willing to go so far for someone he believes will be a worthy opponent, one has to wonder how far he'd go for someone he believes would be a worthy partner.
Well, we'll see about that soon, giving some recent events. No spoilers.
I thought about Mihawk, but I haven't watched a whole lot of One Piece to know enough.
That's fair. Mihawk doesn't really get a whole lot until a certain arc, and then even then, he doesn't get a whole lot of character development. Even now, he still hasn't gotten a whole lot yet. So he's definitely gonna be like endgame. We're gonna get his whole backstory and everything.
Yeah, up until then, he's kind of been a mover of plot points. We haven't really figured out too terribly much about him personally, but what I've seen, I've enjoyed.
That being said, we know he can cook. We know he can confirm cook.
Right, which is another thing he's got going for him. That, and as I think every other entry on my list, with the exception of Gajeel, makes apparent, I might have a thing for swordsmen.
You might also have a thing for edgy dudes. I'm seeing a bit of a theme here with everyone wearing black.
Look, that's just a fashion choice. Black is what you wear, it's not who you are.
Might be. You might subtly be having a thing here, Chris.
That is your opinion.
Say what you will.
I saw up till the first ass-kicking Crocodile took. Heard a lot of plot after Up, and when Ace was killed I gave up for so long. Watched film Red, and I wanna watch more now.
As an avid One Piece enjoyer, it's definitely worth the watch. It may be long, but it's definitely worth the payoff.
Yeah, AJ and I just finished Arabasta, so we're going from there. But yeah, so there we go, Mihawk.
Mordred, go to your next pick.
Who here knows Blood Plus?
I feel like I've heard of it. Maybe
I know a little bit. Yeah, I know a little bit of it.
Think vampires that can walk around in the day and survive without drinking a whole lot of blood, most of the ones being reported being artificial man-made, while the natural ones live on like normal.
I'm very curious of what you're about to present to us.
Mordred loves this anime.
Two factions of good and evil. So from the quote-unquote evil side I present Solomon Goldsmith.
This is a handsome fellow right here.
Indeed.
Tell us the deets.
Yeah.
What is the hell is
Yeah, it's been very, very long since I've seen this series, so while I'm familiar with the name and the appearance, I completely forget what he's all about.
And I've never seen it, so I know nothing about this dude.
He is a very passionate and dedicated man. Like he will show you all the respect you deserve even if you're his enemy.
I can respect that.
He is quite arguably the fastest natural vampire, or chiropteran as they're called. He is one of few given blood by one of two chiropteran queens named Diva. By giving her blood willingly to people she can make them her chevalier or personal guard.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool concept.
Like I said, I have no knowledge of the show, so it's a little like I'm actually just learning here.
Yeah, it was one of those ones that I want to say it was after Toonami took over the anime segment for Adult Swim, and I think Blood Plus aired on Saturday nights, like either late night or early morning.
Immortality, enhanced speed, bullshit strength, etc.
But how are they as a character?
No, respectful, apparently.
Looks very polite, especially being on the villain side.
Yeah, it looks very classy.
He does.
Extremely polite.
He looks like he'll tell me to shut the fuck up kindly.
He'll tell you in such a way where you'll be compelled to thank him afterwards.
Oh, please, if you don't mind, we are speaking of matters of importance at this moment, so we would like to keep it on discussion, if you would.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry.
Master Pixel Doctor, when and if your opinion ever holds importance to this conversation, be assured I will ask you for it.
Damn, I felt that.
You could even say he's obsessed with the main character who is the other chiropteran queen, but he's also oddly respectful about it.
So he's respectful about his obsession, it sounds like.
Certainly beats the alternative.
Like he wants
True.
to bring her to their side instead of killing her.
Diplomacy is the best way to go about it.
But their side is experimenting with humans.
Nobody's perfect.
Things happen.
I mean, depends. If I shack up with this guy, do I get to be one of the successful experiments?
Ooh.
I don't know if he
Because
necessarily
all those powers she describes sound pretty cool.
I don't know if they choose which ones are successful and which ones aren't.
Fexick could be like, I'm not gay, but...
Mm-hmm. Like for vampire powers, I'll act the part for a while.
Listen, we're all a little gay on the inside.
Exactly.
That's the whole reason you and I are here.
Like, they get unique traits like he can turn his hand into a sword.
Okay.
So it's a bit of the only thing I have to compare is the prototype or game.
I was gonna say Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, yeah, true.
No, Full Metal Prototype, you're both right.
Proto Metal
You got my
Alchemist.
wallet.
Proto Metal Alchemist.
That name goes way harder than it has any business going.
It's because Proto is strong, Metal is strong, and Alchemist. They're all three very powerful words.
Damn, that's good.
Write that down.
You can reach out to the best manga we could find.
Yeah, no, I'm totally turning Proto Metal into an actual thing in one of my D&D games now.
I'm glad I could inspire something once again.
But Chevalier can swap between human and chiropteran forms at will. He simply put a bat that moves like a fucking jet.
So it moves like a jet. That is...
Yeah, a bat that moves like a jet. That's...
Well, shit, actually.
Yeah, no, that's terrifying. That is fast.
Bullet right there.
That's actually batshit insane.
Oh, now I'm actually looking at the other form. That is scary. I think the worst part is it keeps the hair. It makes it longer.
Please kindly go 6 feet under.
Here, allow me to assist your willingness by digging the hole for you.
Like he can likely clear a field in seconds.
It seems you may have a death wish. Let me assist you in that matter.
You seem to have a death wish. Well, thankfully for you, I'm from the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Holy shit.
I'm happy with that one.
That was a pretty good one, yeah.
He moves so fast he can easily catch friend and foes off guard and sever their arm before they even realize it.
I kind of gotta watch the show now. I got a huge list of shows and movies I gotta watch still. I'm trying my best to...
So, once you're in the relationship with this guy, if you initiate the breakup and try to leave, you're probably not getting far, is what I'm
I was
hearing.
saying, if you try to leave, you're not gonna make it 2 steps.
Right, hence not making it far. Because if he combines the supersonic bat thing with the sword turning, the sword arm thing, you're kind of screwed.
If that's possible, I don't know. I don't know the limitations of these things, so...
Again, it's been a while since
Well,
I've
they
seen
need
this
to
series.
blend in.
True. They're trying to pose as human.
Well, he does that fairly well.
So he would let you leave freely.
I guess that's true, because if your partner just up and died, that would look pretty suspicious.
Oh, that's true. So we'd have to have that conversation in a public place. That's fine.
He does sound respectful.
That's kind of how you'd handle business with a yandere character anyway. So
Yeah. This guy doesn't necessarily sound like a yandere. He just...
no, I'm just saying it's a similar situation. Like you break up with a yandere.
Plus,
in
I'm
public,
pretty sure he's too nice to kill someone that just dumped him.
Maybe, I can't say.
No, that's actually a fair point. She's got me there.
This might be one of the nicest characters on our list, and surprisingly, we have a good amount of nice characters on this list.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Well, anything else you got for us?
That's all for me, or else I can go on forever on the show.
Yeah, probably
I feel
gonna
that.
cut Mordred off there. I was getting ready to, so... Another time for more of that, Mordred, but this time it's Sam's time.
All right. And, well, since we're going with monsters, I might as well go with something similar. And this guy was a little bit of a last-minute addition for me because I didn't start watching this anime till recently. We're still going through it, and we're not done with it. But, this guy has proven himself enough to me to be added to the list. So I'm going with Kafka. Kafka Hibino from Kaiju number 8. This guy is a big idiot assigned to working the cleaning crew for basically kaiju fights. He cleans up the dead remains of dead monsters within the city. Because someone has to do it and it's not just going to disappear on its own. However, his dream has always been to work for the task force that takes care of these giant monsters and protect the city himself. After surviving a traumatic experience from a kaiju, just barely surviving that experience with just him and a single friend.
Really close call.
Very close call. Everyone else has died. It's just those two. And so they dedicate themselves to each other to become the coolest heroes that they can possibly be. And eventually, when he hears that the age limit for the task force has been raised, yes, raised, because he is that old now, he decides to apply
33.
again and makes it in. And not only does he make it in, but so early on, when he's just starting to get through his new dream, get started on it, of course, shit had to hit the fan, and he ends up becoming a kaiju himself. It's wonderful. Luckily, his spirit and his dedication allows him to overcome those boundaries of becoming the kaiju, the monster everyone fears, and using it for good to help more people. This is the dumb idiot best friend that will smile whenever they save you and make sure that you're okay even if he's not. Just look at that dumb grin. Tell me you can't love this guy. And he cares for all his friends, all the other members of his crew, all his rivals even. He wants to make sure everyone is safe. To be the best hero.
He does have that wholesome idiot smile at the end.
Yeah, the whole becoming the
Attack on
monster and using...
Titan if it was written better.
I was just about to say, the whole becoming the monster and using it to help people thing is like a more wholesome Eren Yeager.
Yep. And also, I've been... If you could see the name in the bottom left, this is Toho. I have been getting into Godzilla recently. So, yeah. This is my Godzilla rep.
Alright, I mean, definite respect for me. I'm a huge Godzilla fan.
Mm-hmm.
I like Godzilla, I just haven't seen many of this stuff yet, but again, I'm working on stuff, so...
Alright, yeah,
I
we'll fix
recommend
it.
Singular Point. I recommend Singular Point. I'm still broken, but I recommend it.
Very curious, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I gotta stop rambling about this, because, this is just so cool. I didn't think I would get into how well I would get into this genre, but it really respects your intelligence, and I love that. And this character is so mature. Silly, but mature. Respectful. Just wants to love.
Mm-hmm.
But mature.
And maturity
and
is
an idiot.
important.
Very much so. So, being mature and ending it early, I'm gonna pass it off to MJ.
Well, you know what? We've all talked about good qualities about people being respectful, mature. But what about true loyalty? I don't think we covered loyalty at all. And then we go with the most loyal person ever. That would... No. No, go away. I'm going with someone even more loyal than Kisame.
Izumi.
By several miles. I'm going with the true orange loyal man, Jeremiah motherfucking Gottwald from Code Geass. This is a man who, no matter what he is doing it to the absolute peak of his ability. And even though he is thought to have died early on in the show, he comes back later, powered up, and with the ability to fight back against the enemy known as Zero. But the moment he finds out that Zero, spoilers by the way for an old show, if you've never seen Code Geass, you're missing a lot. But
I
spoilers,
honest to God was hoping someone would mention this show.
I know, right? There's a lot of good guys in it. I actually struggle to pick him, because there's a lot of good ones. But the moment he finds out that Zero is actually Lelouch, the Britannia, who he swore an oath to, he immediately flips sides and immediately starts going, because he is what people always want. True dependability and loyalty. And the orange part of him is mainly because he really likes oranges.
I can't blame him for that. I do like oranges too.
Yeah, no, he actually goes on to work on an orange farm later. But
with best girl Anya.
Yes, and though she does decide to go to, that less than best guy, Ogi. Oh wait, no, sorry, different character, brain failing.
I don't remember.
I was thinking Valletta.
I don't remember the characters too much because it's been a while, but Code Geass was one of my favorite shows, so...
Mm-hmm. But he's always there, he's willing to support, people around him, so he is constantly annoyed of having people step on his toes, especially after Clovis's murder. And in the end, this leads to him, joining up with Lelouch, who's forced to switch sides because the Black Knights get, because of someone specific, the Black Knights turn on him, so he has to work with the Britannian forces as the new Britannian Emperor trying to rise in order to defeat the old Britannian Emperor, and, at the same time.
It's very complicated unless you go watch it. If you watch it, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But no matter what, Jeremiah is there to support once he knows that the one he swore an oath to is the one that will truly lead Britannia to a new day. On top of that, he's a giant robot pilot, and his mech's really cool.
True, he's one of the first ones we get introduced to, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
But with that, I will actually pass it off because I don't have too much more to say, besides that he's really cool and awesome.
Alright. So the final round 4 pick, we're almost to the final. So I'm gonna go with probably... This is probably one that no one else has seen. And if you have, good on you, because the show is very nice. There's not too much detail to this character, but I'm gonna go with the Master from Restaurant to Another World. Not many people probably see
right.
this one. It's a very wholesome show. The Master is like the main cook of the show. He runs the restaurant, and the whole thing is, one side is their Earth, their world and stuff, and the other side is many dimensions that these doors pop up and these different beings come through to eat. One of them is a literal red dragon that transforms into a woman, and everyone that comes here respects his cooking so much. They'll fight over which is the best, and they'll experiment with each other's food, just to see what they prefer, and then they'll all fight. But if ever a fight starts breaking out, the Master steps out and gets them under control. Everyone just stops. He keeps them from fighting. He's not a big dude, but the fact that he just stops them all from threatens to ban them, they hesitate. They respect him that much. So you got a decently looking good guy who can cook at a Master Chef level. B, he's strong enough to keep these rough and tough adventurer types under control, and especially just by threatening that he will no longer serve them if they continue this. And not only that, people love his food so much they take time out of their way to go to these doors, because the doors that are there spawn at certain times of their world's universe. There's one that's in a cave that only shows up once a month when the moon's fully out. So the people that know about it will only go to that door every time. They'll take time out of their schedule to go visit us. And there's all these other little plot lines and stuff. He is so kind to these characters as well, because at the end, through his cooking and everything, they end up hosting a wedding for 2 of the characters that met at the restaurant. This man is so powerful and so good with his cooking that he will make you. And it was kind of Romeo and Juliet situation where there are 2 opposing families. So he solved a family dispute with his cooking.
That's pretty metal.
I do have to say, even if he wasn't super powerful, even if all he was good at was cooking and being a great person, you do not bite the hand that feeds. You don't piss off your bartender. You don't piss off your barber. You do not piss off your cook. People respect that. And if you want to come back to his establishment, you listen to his rules.
Not only that,
he'll throw you the fuck out.
Not only that, this man is so accepting of everyone. He has 3 staff members by the end of the show. He has the one that you're introduced to in the beginning, who I know they explain, I forget how she gets introduced to. Another one comes in, she's a young girl who tries stealing food because she was just hungry. She didn't know, she was very confused, and instead of just getting rid of her, outing her to police or whatever, he feeds her and is you can work with me and I'll keep feeding you and give you some money. Because a lot of the currency he gets from these other worlds he can't use, because he's I can't do anything with this, so I'll give you some extra money so you can take care of yourself. And then the third one is a black dragon that transforms and keeps coming back because she found out about it through the red dragon and works under her. And even though she's so powerful, she still respects him as the Master. They all refer to him as the Master. Oh, he does have an actual name. It took me a second to find. His name is Tenshu.
As in Tenchu.
Yes. Or not C-H.
His name literally means
S-H-U.
divine punishment.
I mean, for a man named Tenshu, you know what they say about guys with big feet? Big shoes.
Pretty much. But yeah, no, and pretty much everyone up. No, go ahead.
No, I said that was such an out-of-pocket joke, but I love it.
So I wanted to go with a more simple route, it's a straightforward kind of guy. And you know what, someone that accepts all races in this really weird scenario he's in, I think is pretty good for his character, too.
Absolutely.
Massive respect.
That being said, we are on Round 5. If you did not see the last video, let me just restate. We are no longer doing honorable mentions unless it is a topic I feel we can no longer continue with. The honorable mentions will only be used for those videos. So at this point, we are no longer doing honorable mentions. Just want to throw that out there.
For example, like my honorable mention, and then just insert a bleep here, or just leave this in because it'd be funny either way.
Honorable mention redacted. So I have 3 picks here for my final pick to finish off my list. I don't know which one I want to go with, but I'll go with one of the OG's adopted fathers. I'm going with Piccolo.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Dad!
Exactly, adopted dad, Mr. Piccolo. I didn't really want to pick Piccolo, but at the same time, he is kind of like the original good dad character that most people think of, even though he isn't actually a father.
He might as well be.
He might as well be. He basically raises Gohan after a certain point.
Which Piccolo are you talking about? King Piccolo or Piccolo Jr.?
Oh, come on now.
Because one of them... No. The reason I ask is because one of them is a dad. Technically.
Again, come on. You know what I'm talking about.
One of them is a dad, one of them is a father. There's a difference.
Oh, okay, good. Sick burn.
We all know which one I'm talking about. But I guess for the record, I'll state it because it'll make Chris question me endlessly otherwise. I'm going with Piccolo Jr., the one we're all familiar with in Dragon Ball Z and beyond. Which I had to look because I was like questioning his age. I was like, wait, because he was only born at the end of Dragon Ball, and then I was like, oh wait, no, because by the end of Dragon Ball Z, Gohan's an adult and he's older than Gohan, so plus their species ages differently.
Yeah, I think Namekians reach physical maturity after 7-8 years.
It's a little weird because Dende ages differently, but still he ages like Earth time, but Piccolo does. It's a little weird with that, so.
Namekians also don't have junk and reproduce asexually, so the whole species is kind of a up in the air thing.
Yeah, well, that's why I had the weird species rules. I was talking to Sam about this one, where species, it's deal with that pops up kind of thing.
Yeah, physiology aside, he'd still make a good partner.
But I had the debate between him and a few others. I feel like I did one of my other characters kind of dirty here by picking Piccolo. But again, he's the OG dad. He's good. He's rough around the edges, but he gets softer with age. I mean, with Pan, he's super in Dragon Ball Super. He's super polite too. He's very nice and gentle with her, but he's still you got to do this too if you want to improve. Eventually you'll get this, but you got to do better. And he doesn't, he gives you no bullshit. He's straightforward with everyone, which I think you gotta respect someone that just kind of says what needs to be said. And he has some faults here and there. He's a little quick to anger. He's very easy to shout, but he always has the best intention at heart. After he grows up a bit more and grows with Goku and all of them. So and we've seen him take care of Gohan growing up. Again, he was rough, but he cared about Gohan legitimately, even sacrificing his life for him. And now, I don't know how canonical this is, but there's been some. There was a manga panel with him and a woman, so he might have some actual romantics going on. I don't know how canon that is, but I'm just throwing that information out there.
That would be interesting.
I'm very curious about that. I don't know if it was just a one-time thing or not, but I want to see it continue. But yeah, Piccolo for my final pick.
Respectable.
I think so. MJ, would you like to top off your list here?
Yes, I think I would. So, I'm going to do that with someone that I think is the most dependable person so far on this list. One who, even against his enemies, will attempt to talk to them or at least comfort them in their times of sadness. Specifically, I'm going with Genjuro from Symphogear. So this
Yeah,
man
another
is
show I haven't
basically
seen, so
the
I don't know this
equivalent.
character.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So more or less, this man is the commander of Song, which is, to put it into, it's Magical Girl Power Rangers, set up by the Japanese government in order to fight off things called noise, which are creatures that were created that if they touch you, will instantly carbonize you, ripping you atom from atom very painfully.
How?
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Now, the members of Song, specifically the ones that are able to fight, are called Symphogear wielders, and they are able to do it by using their song to power up ancient relics like Amino Habakiri, Durandal. My brain's failing at the other ones. But they're able to use these in order to fight this, and this guy can throw hands with those people. Like, the Symphogears aren't just like, oh man, we've now got some armor that can protect us. It's full-on magical power armor, basically. That is powered up by the feelings and song that they put through it. And this man can fist fight with them. And you want to know how he does it? Through a strict exercise regimen of watching and reenacting martial arts movies.
I love that, actually.
And it's to the point where even when the enemies like Chris, who starts out as basically the equivalent of a rival ranger, is fighting, he actively goes out of his way to try and help her because he sees that she is one of the people that was supposed to be a Symphogear wielder that they were supposed to grab and basically introduce into the system to protect her, but was lost due to her parents being murdered. And he goes out of his way to find her and then not report her to anyone, just bring her food and attempt to help her. And along the way, he actually does save her from noise. And while he can't touch them, because, just like everyone else, he touches them, he gets ripped apart, he uses his super strength to literally lift up parts of the street to throw at them, forcing them to go immaterial and not be able to attack. And even when the character Hibiki is brought down and told that she is going to be given some really harsh punishment for having a shard of a relic that literally allows her to transform, he then welcomes her with a party. Just, hey, welcome. We're gonna, we're gonna have a party now because you're joining us now. Welcome.
Nice top hat.
I know, right? And even the final villain of the first season, Fine, who is a reincarnation who inhabits the bodies of people with her DNA from all the way back when the Tower of Babel existed, before it got vibe checked by God. He throws hands with her and nearly wins. The only reason he loses is because he plays at his softness by acting as if the woman that she has inhabited is still existing, and rise out, in her voice to try and throw him off, which unfortunately does work. But if she hadn't done that, he was about to ruin her. Because this dude, like I said, can throw hands with magical power armor wielders and has secret martial arts techniques that can diffuse explosions from IEDs.
Why does
But
his
he
tie in
basically-
his pocket?
That's
Because his fashion sense is that out of pocket.
he just likes to keep it in his pocket for the most part. Like if he gets into if he's running around, he doesn't want it flopping about. Which he runs around a lot, mainly because he is Team Dad and always there to help them. Oh, did I mention he can catch missiles with his hands?
You did not, but that's interesting.
Yes, he can catch missiles with his hands.
Between his fingers, no less?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Holy shit.
after a training part with later on in the series with all of the Symphogear users, which number to a total of 6, he beat them all.
This dude is overpowered.
So
yes.
it seems.
But he's not so overpowered that he can, just solve everything because of how things work.
We need the main character to do that.
And he acts as a direct father figure to one of the characters, Tsubasa, because her actual father is not her actual father. Instead, Grandpa Daddy is a term that unfortunately is needed.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Also, her grandpa is a remnant of.
Not relevant.
Yeah. Though, fun fact about him, Genjuro's
Robin.
voice... No, it's Genjuro.
Oh.
Genjuro's voice actor is the same as Ryoma from Get a Robo, which makes the conflict with the grandfather even funnier since he's Saotome from Get a Robo. But
Okay.
with that, I am finished.
Well, alright.
Samatham.
I hope it was good. I hope it was good for you because we still got a little more to do.
Yep.
And for this one, I'm gonna do something a little special. Now, this is a person who is actually pretty well known in the anime sphere. Great actor, musician, singer, martial artist. They got it all. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of cheated for this one because I'm picking Mr. Johnny Young Bosch as my number 5 pick. How can
Okay.
I pick just one anime character when this man has been all of them?
He has kind of been that guy.
I actually can't hate this because he voices my favorite character from Naruto.
He's been everyone from Ichigo from Bleach all the way to Jonathan Joestar from JoJo's, and even Broly in Dragon Ball Super. This man has done it all ever since the start. He got his start from Power Rangers, and he's been so great ever since. Love this man. Really chill, surprisingly.
Oh yeah.
And he doesn't back away from history. He loves being a Power Ranger.
Yeah, my wife and I were at a convention in Hawaii. We went as Akatsuki members. I went as Sasori, and I actually got a chance to meet him, and he complimented the outfit.
When I took my brother to his first convention, Johnny Young Bosch happened to be doing a signing there, and he must have overheard me and my brother talking about which poster we wanted him to sign, because he literally signed it Shift into Turbo, because he was specifically looking for the Green Turbo Ranger.
Oh, nice.
It was so much respect. He does not shy away from any of it. This man is amazing.
Yeah, he seemed like a really chill guy.
Sam
And
also
like I said,
deceived
he
me.
might be
'Cause-
cheating.
Sam also deceived me a little bit because Sam told me last night she's gonna pick. Fuck, I'm blanking on his name right now. Matt Mercer.
I told you I told you that Matt Mercer was my backup.
Well, your wording
Yeah.
deceived me.
I said I gave you enough clues to figure out who it is. You were like, I have no idea. You guessed the wrong person, and I was like, my choice is safe.
Your wording was deceiving.
Look, I gave you 2 gifts of characters he's played, one of which is the Black Ranger.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the second Black Mighty Morphin Power Ranger.
I also forgot that he voiced Lelouch, so.
He's
Damn it,
Lelouch.
Sam. I am so mad. She robbed me.
Did I snipe you? Were you gonna do the same thing?
Something similar.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. All respect, Mordred. All respect.
Absolutely.
Understandable. But yeah,
Yes, he's my all-time favorite VA.
I have to agree. He's a great guy. And I'm sorry I had to cheat, but this guy is just awesome. Massive respect. So, Mordred, sorry I had to snipe that away from you, but hey, that just gives you more people to shout out love to. Speaking of which,
Cheese.
yeah, but fine, I won't pass it to you. Fexick, go.
That's not how that works.
No! Why can't I break the rules more?
It's already allowed this.
Mordred, you can go.
This was the hardest choice to make by far.
First and the last pick are always the hardest.
Always.
That's why I struggled too. That's why I ended up picking Piccolo, but I feel like I did some of my other dudes dirty with that.
Yeah, I didn't struggle as much as I thought I would.
I was going on a roll, and my current list looks nothing like my first starting list.
Yeah, I think
Well,
my
I was
weakest-
also benefited largely by having a real life waifu to help me out with mine.
But since Sam essentially stole all of those characters from me, I will say the hyperactive Flame Hashira, Kyojuro Rengoku.
That is fair.
I wouldn't say I stole the characters. You can still pick them because
Yeah,
Just but Johnny has-
you pick Johnny and Bosch. It almost feels like picking the same pick.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's toe stomping. But Rengoku, for the short time we knew him, was nothing but dedicated till the end. Respectful, overall entertaining, had a badass fight scene and tore my heart out in the end.
I didn't really feel for Rengoku, but I get what you're saying. I know others did. It's one of those things where we didn't get enough time for him for me to really feel the empathy.
He was the older brother character everyone respected.
It's true. Set your heart ablaze, I believe. That was the phrase, and now I ruined it because I questioned it.
Could have been confident.
I
You
wasn't
could have been confidently incorrect too.
So losing him felt like getting stabbed with a hot knife.
1,000-degree knife, if you will.
Sam, no one does that anymore. That's like a 5-year-old reference. What are you doing here?
Hey, I'm dated. Well, I'm not yet. I'm available. Any husbandos out there?
Damn it, I was gonna make the joke and you beat me to it.
Sam's kind of been on fire with the jokes today.
Haha.
Losing two fire-themed characters I love to the same fucking way is bullshit, and we all know it.
Yes, I agree. Like I said,
yeah.
I'm basically cheating.
They both got donutted.
I do want to add that I would like to see how he wields his sword. Personally, I would like to learn.
And learning his backstory and seeing how he is positive despite it all is respectable.
True.
That was not a euphemism. I was serious.
Oh, I thought it was euphemism.
Nope, I was serious.
Yeah, his backstory was pretty rough. Father who was... I forget if he was a Hashira himself, I think he was. Kind of gave up, abused his family, especially after his wife died. He became an alcoholic drunk that hated everything and didn't even mourn his son's death until, like, he started to really mourn it.
I'll go sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, the dad comes around eventually.
The fact that he was unceremoniously killed now brings another thing into the spotlight.
Yeah.
It's always the fire guys that get done dirty.
No, I mean, he and his dad have both been wasted.
Damn!
Man, that's fucked up.
Shot through the heart.
Nah, it was a fist.
It's like a fist through the heart. Ouch.
Alright, but we're going long as it is. So, Chris, if you don't mind finishing off the lists.
Not at all. Then I am going to wrap things up with one that I'm actually amazed was not taken, all things considered, and I'm going to go with Bon from Seven Deadly Sins.
Okay.
Respect. Respect.
So, greedy personalities are kind of a win for me, as evidenced by the choices I've made in my actual life. Bon is the greed sin of the Seven Deadly Sins, personified, or the symbolized by the fox. And he was a thief before he became a knight and later joined the Seven Deadly Sins. And his whole thing is from material possessions to power to other people's powers, and particularly to people he loves and cares about. If you are his, he will defend you with his life. And given his life is virtually unlimited, like the man could probably regrow his entire body from a drop of blood. Like he's definitely a ride or die sort of dude. I don't have a whole lot else to say. I feel the majority of like who Bon is and what he does speaks for itself. But he also has a humble side where he braved a bunch of different threats and dangers to arrive at the Fountain of Youth that ultimately gave him his immortality, only to pretty much turn on it when the fairy queen, who was the guardian of the fountain, explained to him why a normal human couldn't access it. He basically turned around and said, yeah, well, okay, that's fine. Like, it'd be a shame if this forest were to disappear. And not trusting humans, the fairy queen even read his mind to see how sincere he was, only to find out, like, yeah, no, he was like a dude that greedy. He was willing to just turn his back on immortality because she told him not to. And I feel like that kind of humility, that kind of being able to put his pride aside, as well as his just devoted possessiveness of anyone he loves, earns him a spot on my list. He can also cook. I believe he is the boar's hat, right?
Yeah, I think you're correct, because I know Meliodas was like he was terrible at cooking, so that's why like Bond was one of the first people they got back.
Mm-hmm. He's also Hawk, so the kind of the mascot of the show, the pig that follows Meliodas around, refers to himself as the Master of the Knight's Order of Scraps Removal. Bond is the only one who calls him Master and respects his rank, even if it's only self-appointed.
I do also have to say, damn, Bond's hot.
He's also got that going for him. He's a very attractive man.
Yeah, but also everything else is just beautiful.
Yeah, he's got a good personality. His abilities are absolutely busted. Like the fact that very little, if anything, has been shown to kill him, or at the very least kill him long term, is just impressive in any context.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with Seven Deadly Sins, but I know that defensively he's very strong just because of that immortality. Like attacking him doesn't really do anything except for slow him down a little bit. Offensively, he's pretty strong, but not the strongest.
Yeah, in terms of healing factors, he's basically anime Deadpool.
Pretty much.
I do also like that they were able to write a negative character trait positively.
Oh, yeah.
Immortality is questionable by the end.
Well, yeah, but
for the most part.
Let's be real. At that point, Bond already has everything else he
gave
wants.
it up to revive his love.
Right, and given at that point Bond has pretty much everything else he could ever want by the end, I'm pretty sure the immortality won't be missed. Which also begs another thing. He likes him petite, so I'm a kindred spirit of his in that regard.
Gotta respect that he gave up the power to save the one he loved, at least.
Yep, well, because at that, I think there was one point where... Because she came back briefly at one point, and they had a code between themselves, and the thing that she wanted to hear from him, and that he ultimately told her, and that her brother didn't understand, was Bond told her, I'm gonna take what's mine, referring to her, and that was her way of saying, like, no, he's still in this for us, and that was how she was able to, know that even after all that time, he still loved her and didn't, move on or do anything else.
And I'm sure he'd do it 1,000 times over.
Oh, and that, yeah, Bond's in it to win it. He's ride or die for life, and I gotta respect that.
All right,
Plus, he had immunity to a lot of stuff because Purgatory Trip by the end.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, dude's kind of a badass.
But with that, it does finish off the last list, so we gotta go to the last part of the last thing we gotta do in the video, which is ranking all the lists.
Indeed.
Which I feel like I'm going first here. It's kind of similar to the last list, so everyone's lists are kind of close to me. I guess going last, it's a bit of a tough call. I'm gonna say, I'm sorry, Mordred, I think I'm gonna put you last for this one, but not by much. Just don't take it personally. It's just because Rengoku I don't find...
Ouch.
I'm sorry. It's just a preference thing. Rengoku I don't really find interesting. I did like Solomon. Karna, I liked his design, and Okuura I like. And then Ace, I just don't see in that kind of way, so for me it doesn't do anything. So don't take it personally, it's just a preference thing. So then third for me will be MJ, to solve that debate. I liked Gentle Criminal. I think that was pretty strong. Jeremiah Gutwell's a fun character. I thought the last dude you did was really fun. Hassan was he was very different from everyone else on the list, just at least in design, which I liked. Elk, I thought was kind of boring. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, no, I figured as much. He's just kind of your average military man doing his job.
And then, again, first and second, this is another one where I'm pretty close on both. I think I'm gonna slightly give it to Sam for the fact that Kyo is a fun character. He's one of my favorites from Fruits Baskets. Izumi is also, again, one of mine. And just the only thing holding Chris back in this scenario is, again, Yami I would have picked, but he's just a little vulgar for me, but he's still very high for me. Kisame, it's really just his eyes that bother me for the physical aspect. Gajil's not one of my favorite characters, but I do like the story he gets. Mihawk is interesting, but he doesn't show himself as a friendly guy, so it's a little off-putting in that sense. And then Bon,
I'm like mixed on feelings with Bon. So that slightly gives the edge to Sam here. Like I said, I like Yo, I like Izumi. Astolfo, I don't know much about, but he seems fun, so I'm okay with that. Johnny on Bosch was kind of cheating, and Kafka looks fun too, so I don't mind that. So Sam, or MJ, your list, please.
Well, unfortunately, cheaters never prosper with me. So Sam is going to unfortunately go in last place because, man, come on.
Excuse me, you should be
cheated.
one to talk. You should be one to talk.
Yeah. I didn't cheat
Mr.
here.
Gear Rex. Mr. Gear Rex.
Yeah, no. It was in an official Monster Hunter collab.
Yeah, but it's still technically cheating.
No, it wasn't because it's official.
I said technically.
Whatever.
Not like
Anyway,
actually.
Sam, unfortunately, cheaters go there. That, and I'll be honest, I don't have really opinions for Fruit Bastis or Horimiya, and I've yet to watch Kaiju number 8, so...
Doing yourself a disservice with the Fruits Baskets and Horimiya.
Yeah,
They
honestly.
just never appealed to me at the time. I'll probably go back and watch them eventually.
Yeah.
After that, I'm probably gonna go Mordred because I do like the Karna choice. I do like Ace, even though I have not sat down and watched One Piece. I've never been a huge Bleach fan, and Blood Plus, well, interesting is something, and I'm not really a huge fan of Demon Slayer. Chris is gonna go second for me just because most of his list I at least know, and none of them are really bad picks.
Geez, at this point, you think I'd own a silver mine.
I apparently own the runner-up prize mine then. With Zach though, Zach being first, you have a good list. Broskandar definitely helped out. Maze, Piccolo, and Tatsu are also great. I've yet to watch Restaurant in Another World though.
We get that. Master is probably my weakest pick for my list, but I wanted it to be represented because it's a good show, and I wanted to do something
That's
a
fair.
little different for at least one pick. And I thought Master kind of fit that role.
That works. And so I pass it on to Sam. Sam, what is your counter assault for my picks?
All right. So, as a counter assault, since you put me no, actually, your list is amazing. It's great. Unfortunately for me, Gentle Criminal's the hardest hitter there. Yeah, it doesn't really stack up to everyone else. So I unfortunately do have to put you at fourth for me.
Oof.
Don't worry, I'm used to it down here.
Unfortunately true
No,
for
not-
MJ. He didn't deserve it in the robot
Yeah.
list, though, I'll say that.
No hard feelings. Absolutely not. Absolutely no hard feelings.
Mhm.
Next up, I again would have to put Mordred. Again, mostly it's Ace holding the spot here. I know how much you love this person, and I know how much you love these characters. You speak highly about almost all of them all the time. I absolutely love your passion for them. I am not hating on you whatsoever. It's just preference to me. The others kind of just shot up higher and higher. So that's number 3. Leaving the runner-up being... It's a pattern, I'm sorry, but you got the silver mine, Chris.
Yeah, silver.
Yeah. Bon was good. A lot of your reasoning for a lot of the characters is really heartwarming, honestly. But it just does not stack up to the type of people on Doc's list. And I actually especially love the Master, even though he is a weird pick. I love that he was included there. The only one that's bringing your list down at all would be Piccolo, and even then, I would say he's a good pick. Like, yeah, he's good dad.
Like I said, Piccolo, I feel like, did dirty my other picks that probably would have done a little better, but I went for the popularity with Piccolo there, to be honest with you.
I understand. And again, no hate to anyone. These were all amazing characters.
Let's go.
But yeah, Mordred, what do you think?
It's hard to vote when you don't know the character, so I feel a little bad, because if you're unfamiliar, it does hurt the lists a little bit, which... Because if you knew the characters, it could help the rankings of them. I feel like we all try our best to separate unfamiliarity from what we're being told, but it's hard to do.
As much as I want to put Doc last for what he said, I gotta put Sam last cause cheaters don't win.
Okay.
MJ, because Jermia keeps it up there for me. Chris second because Gagiel, Van holding it back. And Doc. First because 4 out of the 5 I know by heart.
Silver mine is great, Chris, but a gold mine's even better.
I would beg to differ. I think silver
You know
looks a
what?
lot cooler.
I agree, but in this
Understandably
scenario-
so, I did go for the cheat. I still stand by it. I don't care
Okay.
if I go down with Johnny Young Bosch. I will take this fall gracefully in his arms.
That's
Alright.
it. You know, Sam, you're going to jail.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Same. That being said, Chris, it's your turn to end off the lists once again.
So since Sam is resigned to going down for Johnny, might as well cue up the Celine Dion because you're going to the seafloor. I gotta put you last.
In the arms of the angel.
I mean, that's Sarah McLaughlin, but okay.
I don't know people by names, with the exceptions like Johnny.
You tried your best.
Celine Dion was the one from Titanic.
I don't.
Do 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 do.
There you go.
Anyway. So third place, I got to give to MJ for reasons very similar to Sam. Gentle Criminal really carried the majority of that list, though Elk kind of put you back a little bit again, just because military dude's not my thing. I have virtually no exposure to Fate whatsoever. I was indifferent to Jeremiah, and I have no exposure to Genjuro either. So silver, I have to donate a little bit from my silver mine to Mordred, because I am familiar with Solomon. I have not seen Demon Slayer, so I'm unfamiliar with Rengoku, unfortunately, but I appreciated your points. Same with Karna and, I'm going to butcher that name. Is it Ulquiorra?
You got that correct.
Cool. And then Ace, obviously, is just awesome. Which leaves a consistent gold for Zach because you sniped Tatsu for me. The Master was a great choice. Alexander, I'm indifferent to, but Piccolo kind of balances that out. And then you motherfucker, you pulled out the Ace card with Hughes.
Yes. I got gold across the board. I'll take this win. This is my first time getting it. It's actually only the second person to do it. The first one
I
was
was
Sam.
going to say, yeah, appreciate your clean sweep. You kind of earned it this time around.
I cheated 4 times, and this is the time I get this punish for it. I see how it is.
I appreciate that you guys did like the Master pick. I knew that one was going to be a little weird. So, but that is it for us. If anyone has any final
Silver
comments.
once. I can live with it.
Again, it's that unfamiliarity. I know everyone tries to separate it, but it does hurt. It is hard to separate when you don't know the character too well.
That is true. Yeah, it's like at that point it becomes a matter of being attentive to what the person presenting tells you about the character, because that for me goes a long way.
Yeah. But I think overall everyone has pretty solid lists. But what do you in the comments think? Let us know with the comments below. Use them as voting. I'll have them all down there. Vote for whoever you think is your favorite, or tell us. I'm fine with either. Subscribe. Don't forget to check out Sam and Mordred's Twitch links in the bottom, and Sam's YouTube link, because Sam also has a YouTube channel.
I'll get there eventually.
And you guys have any last things to say?
I don't care if I cheated. I will give all these husbandos a smooch. All 25 of them.
Someone take this man to jail. Chris, get on that.
That's a woman over there. You misgendered. Illegal.
Oh, fuck. Damn it. No!
Now I'm taking you to jail.
Take him to jail!
No!
That being said, I had one thing I wanted to say and I lost it. Damn. Oh no, I now remember. People are gonna call me a Sam Glazer because almost every time I go Sam as number one, and it's just because like my interest and Sam's interests are usually very similar. So it's a little.
I mean, it's also not your fault that she usually puts good choices forward.
Yeah, but every time I think I've always put Sam first.
It's always like this symptom of me and Doc having the same brain cell.
Yeah, but it does happen a lot. We do share a lot of similar interests, so unfortunately it just coincides. Alright, well, if no one else got anything to say, then we say goodbye.
Later.
Goodbye!
Later.
Later.